Okay, this is statistics, page 3 of our class notes we're starting with. Okay, now we're talking about storing data. How do we actually store data? So one way we can store data is through what's called coded data. That's where we use numbers to record categories. And it sometimes makes reading the data easier, or we can sum up, like if we say that, if we're asking what a person's gender is, and we say that a 0 means no for male and a 1 means yes for male, we then can sum up all the ones, and that way we know how many males are in our data set, for example. Most commonly, though, is what's called stacked data, and this is pretty much what we'll be using almost all the time. Data values are stored in a spreadsheet format. Okay, so if you've ever seen Excel, etc., that's what it looks like. Each row contains data for a single member of the sample, and it's able to store many variables. Okay, so example 4. So here's an example of a very small data set, but each row corresponds to a dog at a local shelter. So the variables, so each row is a dog. So dog 1, dog 2, etc., down to dog 6. The variables for that dog is what does it weigh, what's its gender, and is it sick? Does it have an illness? Okay, so weight, gender, and illness are the variables. The dogs are just the different members. The dog 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are the different members of the data set. So how many dogs were represented in the sample? Again, I've already talked about it, but there's 6 dogs in this sample. Another way, which we really will never use, but sometimes we'll see when we're talking about things, is called unstacked data. For unstacked data, data values are stored in 2 columns. Each column is a variable from a different group, so we can only store data for 2 variables. The information in a row does not correspond to the same individual. So for example, this table here represents the average number of hours slept over a 1-week period for a sample of men and women. So all the men, the number of hours they slept, all the women, the number of hours they slept. So that's all we can do. Okay, is right there. We can only keep track of that. All right, so I'll stop there.